everybody, and welcome back to Three-Sided Box Prediction Center here for the NFL Week 11. Holy shit. Time's going by really fast. Season's winding down. The important games are coming up. It's probably the best time to be a football fan is now, because either your team's not going to be playing in January, or this is where your team, when they do play in January, the games matter the most. And when your team proves it.
Unless you're a Browns fan.
Unless you're a Browns fan, where it's always a bad time. Except for the off season, where you just don't have to deal with it, and there's always hype for some reason. Yeah. Anyways, I'm your host, David. This is Michael. We're going to jump into some predictions. But first, all your picks are down below in the description. So if you want to switch to a specific prediction with your team or whatever, it's all there with the time. So you can click on it, and it'll take you directly to it. With that, Thursday Night Football. We got the Titans heading into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Who do you got?
Snooze
fest.
No, not a snooze fest. Both teams are decent.
4-game winning streaks each, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so too. Look, the Titans are a good team, but I think this is basically their first real spotlight, against a really good team, top tier.
True test.
Yeah, true test. And the Steelers rarely lose at home on prime time. So you really can't bet against the Steelers in this one. I got I'm about to say silver and black. Black and yellow, excuse me.
Black and yellow. I'm going to predict the Steelers too. I've been saying it for, a good chunk of the last year, going back to the last season, that the Titans are just not there yet. Still got some growing to do. I'm going to predict Antonio Brown to have a big game. Steelers for me. Next game.
Next up, we got a classic NFC North matchup. That is the Detroit Lions heading into your great city of Chi-Town, baby. Ooh, city of champions. The Blackhawks Winter Classic game will be there again.
In Notre Dame.
In Notre Dame?
Yeah, it's Notre Dame.
Okay,
Stadium.
so it'll be in Indiana.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Which I told you is considered, it's part of, anyways, whatever. It's Lions-Bears. I'm going to predict the Lions because it's an important matchup. The division's basically wide open, even though the Vikings are kind of running away with it at this point. Which makes no sense what I just said. The division is still up for grabs, is what I'm trying to say, even though the Vikings are starting to slowly take a bit of a lead. So they're playing the Bears, who we thought have kind of turned it around, that kind of didn't all of a sudden again. So we don't really know what Bears are going to get, but it's in Chicago, so I'm expecting it to be close, but I'm predicting a Lions win.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. Bears, as much as they're not the greatest team, they're kind of like remind me of the Jets this year. They don't have a lot of talent per se, but they play fundamentally sound. You're not gonna see them, do Browns things.
Yeah, you never know.
Do stuff like that consistently. I'm saying. But with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Lions on this one. As you said, it's an important matchup, and I don't think they're gonna let it slip away.
We'll see what happens next game. Next up, we've got the, it's kind of a relevant bowl, it's kind of not a relevant bowl. It was a relevant bowl in every other year of both teams' existence up until this point, just because of one of them have a pretty good defense. I'm talking about the Jags heading to Cleveland to play the Browns. I still call it a relevant bowl because I still don't think the Jags are going to win. I don't see them as contenders, even though they're having a pretty solid year. Who do you got?
I got the Jags. Man, that defense is so scary. I mean, I know it's the Jags and all that stuff, but man, Jalen Ramsey is so good. AJ Bowie is so good. Everything is great. Great linebackers, great front, great. I don't think the Browns really are going to put up much points. Maybe a field goal.
Yeah, I'm predicting the Jags to win too. The Browns, I think, are going to get completely destroyed, and they're pushing for that Lions record of 0-16.
It'd be pretty funny.
But every year the Browns are. Let's be honest. That they're every year.
I'm surprised they still haven't.
Yep.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, it is. You guys deserve an award. So we'll go the Jags next game.
Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens heading into Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra. It's starting to get a little bit chilly there. I see. So starting to see your breath a little bit. Yeah. Heading into Lambeau to play the Green Bay Packers. Who do you got?
Packers got a pretty solid win against the Bears last week, but I mean they're playing the Bears, and again it's divisional, so kind of anything could happen. Baltimore, kind of disappointing this year, not really firing on all cylinders. Some weeks they're good, some weeks they're not, and I don't know what it is, of lack of leadership, lack of proper preparation from the coaching staff. I don't know what it is. I think it's more on the players than anything, because Harbaugh has a pretty good reputation for
Their defense is good. Their defense is good. It's just their offense that can't get it going unless they're playing the Raiders, and then we just let them go over 400 yards.
I'm picking the Ravens though to come out because I feel like it's their game to lose. Even though the Packers are in a division where it's up for grabs, I think the lack of Aaron Rodgers is still gonna be shit for them, and it's not gonna help them. But they are at home, so you never know. But I'm gonna go with my gut and pick the Ravens.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna go with the Green Bay Packers in this one. As you said, they're at home, and you really can't go wrong with the Packers at home, unless they're playing the Niners in the playoffs at some point. But yeah, I know Aaron Rodgers is gonna be missed, but they need to find a way to run the ball, and I think it's gonna be a close game, maybe like a 17-13 game, one of those games.
So what happens, guys? Next game. Next up, we got the Cardinals heading to Texas to play the Houston Texans. Jose Altuve, MVP of the AL. Congratulations! Shout out to Houston. Who do you got?
I don't know. I literally have no idea. I'm just gonna flip a coin in my mind, and it lands on Cardinals. So Cardinals for me.
I'm gonna pick the Cardinals as well, even though I definitely could see the Texans coming out winning this one. But I just feel like that team's a little bit of a chaotic dysfunction right now. A lot of key pieces missing, and the Cardinals are like the shittier version of the Ravens. Good team, just not performing well. And they just signed Larry Fitzgerald to a contract extension, whatever that means going forward. Maybe that's a reason to play well this week, who knows. But we both got the Cards, because why not? Next game.
Alright, so next up we got what should have been our Week 1 matchup, aka, as you said just now, the bye week game. Obviously because of the hurricane in Florida. The Bucs and Dolphins will be playing each other now, and we'll have no bye week. Didn't have a bye week basically in the season. So, with that being said, who's your pick?
They're both really bad teams right now. The Dolphins, like I said, trained Jay Ajayi to the team.
I will say this though, before you go on. Ray Maluga, linebacker for
released.
the Dolphins, just got charged for battery.
And he got released.
And he got released. So
good guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Bucs, just cause I feel like Fitzpatrick is there. The guy sucks, but he pulls out these wins.
It's Winston, no?
He's back?
I'm pretty sure it was only a 1-game suspension.
No, isn't he injured?
No, it was a suspension because he poked the Saints guy.
I thought he was injured.
No. I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading something else. Regardless, James Winston now is being accused of something else.
Yeah.
So good guy. Good job not picking Mariota at Tampa Bay. I'm gonna give it to the Bucs. I like Deshaun Jackson. That'll be my reason. Jay Cutler sucks.
Yeah, I'll go with the Bucs too. I think out of both teams, I think the Bucs are a little bit more desperate. Also, I'm not sure how legit this is, but I saw a tweet from like TMZ or like a guy who was like referencing TMZ where Jarvis Landry apparently like pushed his like wife or whatever.
Wasn't that the guy for the Giants?
I literally have no idea.
The NFL just continues to get great representation from their players. All right, we both got the Bucs. Next game. All right, next up we got a pretty interesting matchup. We got the Los Angeles Rams heading to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Who would have thought this would have actually been a pretty good matchup this late into the season? What do you got?
I got the Rams. Let's just call it what it is. They're a very well coached team.
I think they're honestly the best team in the league right now.
Playing wise?
In general. Like, I'm not saying they're going to be this good come playoff time, because playoffs is a different game. But I think right now, I think you have to rank the best team in the NFL. And it's not because I'm trying to be humble and I don't want to jinx the Eagles. I legitimately think they're the best functioning team right now. The Eagles have a lot of hiccups in their game that could be exposed. Yeah. I don't see it that much in the Rams.
The Rams are a little bit in the honeymoon phase still. Yeah. But they still have great coaching. Obviously, Wade Phillips, Sean McVay doing wonders for that team. I'm gonna go with the Rams on this one, even though I really like the Vikings. Mike Zimmer's also a good coach, and I know you
guys.
you think he's an idiot, but
I can't see.
I think he's a great coach. They have a great defense, but at the same time, Case Keenum is not better than Jared Goff right now, and really the Vikings are dependent on their defense if you really look at it, even though they do have good receivers. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams in this one.
Well, I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna take the Rams as well. Like I said, I think they're the best team in the league right now on many different things. Like you said, they're going through that honeymoon phase. I'm not gonna buy into their crap just yet because the Eagles are kind of going through that too, the honeymoon phase to a certain extent, not as much as the off season in year 2, but within a certain level of whatever. I think the Rams will be good for at least the remainder of the season, and we'll see come playoff time. But for now, they're the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Rams for both of us. Next game.
Next up, we got both our teams' rivals facing each other. That's the Kansas City Chiefs heading to New York to play the New York Giants. The G-Men.
I got the Chiefs. Giants suck. Andy Reid's my boy. Beanalo's my boy. All the reasons shoved up into one. Andy Reid knows how to beat the Giants. He's done it for a very long time when he was coaching my team, Chiefs.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs. Giants are in complete disarray right now. So
that's very nice of you to say.
Yeah, very nice.
There's way worse things you can say about that team.
Yeah. So I got them. I got the Chiefs.
Next game, guys. Next game. Next up, we got another one of my division rivals. We got the Washington Redskins heading into New Orleans, play the New Orleans Saints.
Who are on fire.
Who are on fire.
I would pick the Saints, but I don't know. I just feel like an upset's coming. I feel an upset. I'm going with the Skins on this one.
You know what? I agree that the Skins pull out wins out of their ass every now and then, but they did it against the Seahawks in Seattle. They had it for the year. It's done. I'm picking the Saints, and I also like the Saints, and I also hate the Redskins. So that's my prediction.
And black and gold is your favorite color.
And black and gold is my favorite color. So there you go. It's just a giant mesh of perfection right now. If they're playing the Cowboys, would have been that much better, but I'll take the Redskins. Next game.
Well, we got a pretty irrelevant bowl. Two teams that have beat my team, unfortunately. We got the Bills heading into Oakland South, aka Los Angeles.
AKA not San Diego.
Not San Diego Chargers. Just go ahead and make a pick.
Well, Nate Peterson is the starting instead of Tyrod Taylor, who apparently is being benched because he's black and not because he actually sucks. Yeah. Which, is not the reason why, buddy. And I'm not saying there isn't some sort of racism in the NFL, because there probably is, and there has been in the past, and it's been obvious. But Tyrod Taylor does suck.
No, he doesn't.
Okay?
No.
I'm not saying he's better, he's worse than Nate Peterson, whoever the fuck that is. But this guy is like on the bubble of an NFL starter, NFL backup. Like, he's not a top 32 quarterback in the league. He's not better than Colin Kaepernick. No.
Colin Kaepernick's pretty good, though.
Colin Kaepernick's not that good. But anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick the Bills to win because I like Shady McCoy, and I want Tyrod Taylor to be on the bench even longer.
I'm going to pick the Bills on this one. Just because the Chargers suck, and I can't believe we lost them.
Can't believe we lost to both of them.
Can't believe I lost both of them.
Next game. Next up, we got the Bengals heading to Mile High, baby, to play the Broncos. Who do you got?
Broncos, Bengals. But if you have no O-line against that team, good luck, is all I'm going to say. Andy Dalton might not have a second to throw the ball. And Denver is pissed off that they got wrecked by the Pats. So.
And by us.
And by you. Yeah, that's true. And you guys wrecked them more. So, yeah. I got Denver.
Alright, well, I'm going to pick Denver too because I believe the Bengals are in much more of a chaotic situation than the Broncos are. The Broncos do have a lot of question marks at the offense side of the ball, specifically at quarterback, but their defense is pretty fucking solid, even though they've been lit up the last 2 weeks. I think it's just more of like them not wanting to play as hard just because of what the stupidity that's going on the offense. Plus, they don't really get much rest. They remind me of the Eagles when Chip Kelly was there. They're just always on the field, and they get beat late in games by a lot because they're just exhausted. But regardless, the Battle of the Oranges is going to go to Denver according to us, which is never properly analyzed and no bias ever on this channel. Yeah. Next game.
Next up, we got the Mexico City game, which I can't believe we gave a home game. What what a joke of an owner we have. Anyways, that's my Raiders hosting the New England Patriots.
Well, apparently, according to Derek Carr, it feels like a home game. Feels like a home playoff game, he said, even though he's never played
in a home playoff game, yeah.
So good on you, Derek.
Nor has there been a home playoff
Praise
game
the name of
in
Jesus.
15 years
Exactly.
in Oakland. So.
I'm picking the New England Patriots to win this game
Yeah,
by a lot. I'm actually predicting a blowout. I'm predicting like a 45-17 game.
I definitely believe that too.
Yeah.
I have zero faith in my team.
And by the way, you guys are playing on the second highest altitude other than Denver, so you guys are gonna be acclimated to the weather. And the Patriots were playing in Denver last week, so they're good and ready to go.
All I'm gonna say is that the Pats have 3 starting O-linemen out. So our only hope of winning this game is if Brady has literally less than a second to throw the ball. But if
that ball's on a float.
If we don't get to him early in the game and stop their run and do what we need to do, then yeah, we're gonna lose big. And so the likelihood of that happening, considering how bad our coordinators are, is probably near 100%. So yeah, if I had to predict, it'd be Pats for me too.
All right, well that's great. Next game. Next up, Sunday Night Football. We got the 8-1 my Philadelphia Eagles heading into Jerry's World to play the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, which I've already said. We're 8-1. I've already said that as well. Who do you got? Because I can't pick.
If the Cowboys had Zeke, man, that guy was eating you guys up when you were...
Oh, eating us up. Oh, yeah. The one game he played against us, he was eating us up. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I got the Eagles in this one. I think there's too much pressure on Prescott to do anything. And I mean their O-line's good, but like it's a pretty big drop off from. I know you think everybody sucks on the team, but I shouldn't really take your opinion for it. But anyways, Zeke being out is really going to affect them in the passing game and in the running game, pass protection, so on and so forth. I think offensively they're going to be shut down. But yet again, it is this division, and it is Eagles-Cowboys. So whatever you think will happen, the likely thing that will happen is the opposite of what is likely to happen. So that's my take on it.
You also have to understand that we're coming off a bye. We're 8-1. Who knows what the mentality is going to that locker room? The team's struggling in Dallas. They lost Zeke. We might take it a little too easy, and they might capitalize on a couple of mistakes that we make. However, Ronald Darby's back. My boy Jay Ajayi, full fucking playbook has been taught and understood by him. He is going to be available at any given point for us.
What?
Carson Wentz, MVP number. I'm not saying we're going to win, because I can't predict. And knowing us, we'll probably lose because we are playing the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, and anything can happen because it is the NFCs. But I'm gonna ride the J train. No pun intended. Big puns, but I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this matchup, and this is for the division. If we win, the division's ours.
I will say this. There's one thing I will guarantee for a prediction. Is I predict that there will be a fight between an Eagles fan and a Cowboy fan.
Oh yeah, well, that's a given.
So that's my guaranteed put money on it prediction.
I will also say this though, because we've obviously only lost one game. If we're gonna start losing some games, I'd rather it be now than maybe a little bit later, because we're playing Seattle, we're playing the Rams, both there. We still have the Giants one more time. We have the Cowboys again. We got some important games. Losing to the Cowboys once is not the end of the world, because it tends to be a thing we do often, and we usually split them anyways down the season. And being 8-2 is not so bad.
No, it's not so bad, huh?
It's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Huh?
So I'm still hoping for a win. Obviously, 9-1 sounds better than 8-2. We'll see what happens, but anything can happen in the NFC East. Let's move on to Monday Night Football.
So we got a rematch of the NFC Championship game. No, NFC Divisional matchup. Sorry. It was not the championship game.
No.
That was between the Packers and the Falcons.
Yeah.
We got the Falcons heading into the loudest place on planet Earth. The place where I got drafted by an MLB The Show. Okay? That's Seattle, Washington. Alright?
It's also your like fourth team.
CenturyLink Field, all right,
Yeah,
the loudest.
where they built the stadium to amplify the sound, and then Kansas City and Saskatchewan, where literally there's no buildings to make any of the sound bounce off of, and the building itself not made for that, and yet they're even louder. But anyways,
one second.
Yeah.
I will say this just before I go on to your pick. Cam Chancellor
out for the year.
Out for the year.
Yep.
Russell Wilson had to fix like a broken jaw.
No, it's not broken. He had to realign his jaw.
Apparently it's horrible. He was only able to like, how are you gonna call plays and like how are you gonna have audibles and adjustments.
Well, thank God they're at home.
So hopefully maybe they could do like a silent count. I don't know.
Thank God they're at home, because if they're on the road, all the other teams would be fucking screaming. The fans would be going crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna predict the Seahawks to win, because the Falcons do not seem to be the same Falcons that they were last year. They're still a pretty solid team. But the Seahawks, this is the time of year where they really get their shit together and they start playing good down the stretch. But no Sherman and no Chancellor and a banged up Wilson could mean otherwise. But I'm still going to give it to them, because I do feel like because they're at home, it gives them the advantage. And I don't know, Matt Ryan on the road doesn't seem to be a good thing for me. So, Seahawks. And two teams that fucked up against the Patriots in the Super Bowl, might add. Big time. Still giving it to Seahawks.
Two teams that should have won the Super Bowl.
No.
But regardless, yeah, I got the Seahawks too. Can never go wrong with that home field advantage. Can never go wrong with that defense. No, I'm not. I'm a Raider fan for life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm a Raider fan for life. But you know, Seahawks are a good team, and Falcons are reeling a little bit. Even though they did beat the Cowboys, there's something just off with them. So I got the Seahawks too.
Alright, well, thank you so much for watching, guys. Those are our predictions for Week 11. We are a bunch of idiots. Do not put bets on what we were saying, because who knows if we're right or wrong.
I'm right.
Who knows?
I'm right.
Regardless. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Smash that like down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Share the video with your friends. We appreciate the love. And like I keep saying every week, comment your picks down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say so we can laugh with or at each other, because it's funny regardless. Because who cares? It's just sports and we're not actually playing. So what our opinions in the end don't really fucking matter. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Enjoy the week of games ahead. We will see you all for Week 12. And we have kind of a special announcement for that, which is not really matter to anybody who watches anyways, but you'll see next week anyways. See you later, guys. Enjoy the games.